In the headlines, troops launch massive raid on bandit camps in Kayenji National Park. Inflation batters Makurdi markets as traders buyers struggle to cope. NDLA intercepts Iran-bound cocaine, nabbs British ex-convict at airport. And on the foreign scene, Putin holds strategic talks on Middle East, Africa during World War II commemoration. Hello and welcome to News Updates on Trust TV. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. We begin with security matters. The Nigerian army has begun a major counter-insurgency operation targeting bandits in the Kayenji Lake National Park, straddling parts of Kwara and Niger states. The operation, codenamed Park Strike 4, will cover over 90 kilometers from Kemanji into the forest area. Major General Obinna Onubogu, General Officer commanding 2 Division, told journalists in Kayama, Kwara State, that troops have been deployed to flush out criminals and restore public confidence. He said the offensive is in line with directives from the Chief of Army Staff and will involve collaboration with other security agencies and local communities. Fear and panic have gripped several communities in Sokoto State following fresh threats by notorious bandits Bello Turji, forcing residents to flee en masse. The ultimatum reportedly issued to residents of some communities in Isa local government area gave villagers until 4 p.m. on Sunday to evacuate or face deadly attacks. By Monday, Bafarawa town and surrounding communities, including Dubu, Gebe, Sulawa, and Garin Fadama, were largely deserted as terrified families took flight to escape potential violence. There is growing anger over what locals describe as a sluggish and inadequate government response. Some allege Turji is being protected by unnamed actors, fueling suspicions of collusion and further eroding public trust. In response, the Sokoto State Police Command said officers have been deployed to the affected areas. Police spokesperson ASP Ahmad Rufai confirmed the movement of security personnel, even though no formal complaint had been lodged. In Benue State, at least 23 people have been killed in a series of fresh attacks spanning 4 local government areas: Logo, Kwande, Ukum, and Guma. 8 farmers were killed Saturday morning in Joata, a border community between Benue and Taraba states. They were reportedly ambushed while heading to their farms after spending the night in the area. In a separate attack on Friday, suspected armed herders invaded Iyilamu community in Logo local government area, killing 9 residents. 3 more deaths were recorded in both Kwande and Guma local government areas. The State Commissioner for Information, Matthew Abo, confirmed the Jota attack and linked it to ongoing tensions between Tiv and Jukun communities. He added that the identities of the attackers remain unknown and other reports are still being verified. Matters as the cost of living continues to generate widespread concern across the country. Local traders and consumers at markets in Makurdi, Benue State have shared their perspectives on the changing prices of essential commodities. A correspondent who visited the market observed prevailing economic challenges marked by inflation, high transportation costs, and insecurity, leaving traders struggling to stay afloat and buyers adjusting to new spending limits. The report.
Faith Alaki, a fish seller, stands behind her table at North Bank Market, arranging a few smoked fish she could afford to transport this week. She explains that she now sources her stock from northern Nigeria due to the dwindling fish supply from the once abundant River Benue. But the journey comes at a steep price. Faith, like many others, pleads with the government to bring down fare prices and make the highways safer so small businesses like hers can survive.
The carton of it, yes, is 100,000, but for this year, it's very costly because of the transport and the issue of Boko Haram.
Sidikato Baisa, a grains vendor, tells a different story, one that offers a glimmer of relief. According to her, prices of staples like rice, beans, garri and corn have dropped slightly compared to last year.
Last year price, this they high, but this year we thank God come down. Like this our garri last year, we used to buy 105, but this year now we used to buy 75. Corn last year we buy corn 90, 100, but now we thank God don't they buy 60.
Comfort Umenge, who sells cassava flour and grains, confirms that while there has been a noticeable decline in the prices of corn, millet and guinea corn, cassava flour remains a stubborn exception.
We used to sell rubber pants of corn 3,005, but now we sell it 3,000.
Mohamed Abubakar Adamu, another grain seller, also reports that prices of some food items have dropped and that access has improved.
Why the thing is going? Why the maize is going down? Still the fertilizer is still high. Understand? The fertilizer is still high. They cannot even get now a bag of maize cannot buy you a fertilizer. You see the problem, which means next year we're not thinking of next year that we can buy the corn lesser than this year.
In the non-food section of the market, Amobi James, who sells kitchen utensils, recalls how businesses slowed down drastically earlier in the year. He believes the government can ease the pressure by cutting down taxes and boosting local food production.
The price hike started from around November, December, and it was at the zenith January. So as we start going from February, March, there is actually drop in price. So we are hoping that the drop will continue.
The mixed voices from Makurdi's markets reveal complex reality. Some goods now cost less, but the struggles persist. As traders adapt and buyers endure, the collective call remains clear. Nigerians want a break from hardship, a government that listens.
Now, former First Lady of Nigeria, Dame Patience Jonathan, has publicly declared her support for President Bola Tinubu and the First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, ahead of the 2027 general elections. She made the declaration in Abuja while receiving the Women Icon Leader of the Year award presented by Accolade Dynamics Limited. Patience Jonathan pledged to campaign alongside the First Lady, citing a deep personal and political bond that spans decades. Reaffirming her belief in Nigeria's rotational leadership principle, she described it as essential for fairness and unity across the country. Jonathan also praised President Tinubu's daughter, Folashade Tinubu Ojo, for her advocacy for women in politics and called on Nigerian women to rally behind the First Lady's initiatives. The Anra State government has sanctioned a private school in Awka for charging pupils 5,000 naira to contest for head prefect positions. Blossom Found School faces 1 month closure after it was found monetizing student leadership roles, a practice the government describes as exploitative and unethical. Education Commissioner Professor Ngozi Chuma Ude announced the sanction over the weekend, saying the act undermines merit and sends the wrong message to children. An investigation has been launched into the school's operations, and officials say more sanctions may follow. The state insists it will not tolerate practices that commercialize education or violate students' rights. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLA, has recorded major breakthroughs in its ongoing war against drug trafficking, with 2 high-profile arrests made at Nigeria's international airports. In Rivers State, NDLA operatives arrested a woman, Ihesekin Miracle Obehi, at the Port Harcourt International Airport on May 3rd while attempting to smuggle cocaine to Iran. The suspect, disguised in a hijab, was intercepted while boarding a Qatar Airways flight. The drugs were concealed in her private parts, handbag, and strapped to her body. In another operation on May 9th, NDLA officers at Lagos Murtala Muhammad International Airport apprehended a 22-year-old British national, Campbell Kaiser Kofi Johans Sliver, with 35 parcels of loud, a potent strain of cannabis weighing over 37 kilograms. The ex-convict, previously jailed for drug and robbery offences in the UK, admitted he was recruited in London to pick up the drugs in Thailand and deliver them in Nigeria. Nationwide, the NDLA carried out a series of other raids and interceptions. In Niger State, officers seized 3,040 47 kilograms of skunk hidden in a fuel tanker and 3 other vehicles. In Kano, a major bust uncovered 775 liters of codeine syrup during a targeted operation. Jigawa State is charting a bold course in healthcare reform as a major investment under the World Bank-backed Impact. The project is driving a comprehensive overhaul of its primary health system. Our correspondent details the latest progress following an oversight visit from a high-level delegation from Abuja. The report.
Jigawa State is undergoing a transformative shift in its healthcare sector, fueled by an $11 million commitment from the World Bank's Impact Project. Spearheaded by technical team lead Honorinde Asire, the initiative targets the revitalization of 114 primary healthcare centers with the goal of significantly expanding access to quality services. Speaking during a recent monitoring visit, Asire reiterated the project's core objective, which is to ensure reliable, round-the-clock healthcare by equipping facilities with skilled personnel and the resources needed to serve communities more effectively. Although Jigawa is not classified among the northern states with the highest maternal mortality rate, it remains proactive. Early gains from the impact projects are evident in maternal and child health improvement, thanks to interventions such as the distribution of mama kits, enhanced support for traditional birth attendants, and wider immunization outreach.
Our role is to work with team to achieve that. And why we made that? Very basic things. Very basic things. One, improve primary health care service delivery. Why will a primary health care not have basic things to deliver a woman? Why would they not have basic drugs? They are not expensive to treat people. Why should we not have healthcare workers in those facilities? And so we took that as a priority. And the Impact Project is upgrading about 3,000 facilities nationwide, of which of that number we have 114 in Jigawa State.
Governor Umar Namadi highlighted the administration's commitments by approving the recruitment of more than 1,500 new health workers. He also assured that the temporary J-Health staff are being adequately compensated with structured plans for their permanent integration into the workforce. To ensure uninterrupted services, over 284 primary health centers have now been equipped with solar power, clean water supply, and critical infrastructure upgrades.
Maternal mortality is something that we need to address. And also, to add to that, in addition to all we are doing, the local government are also very alert. They are trying to upgrade some of the primary health care centers also. They are providing the L-chef so as they will provide 24-hour service. We are providing solar, we are providing water, we are providing everything in this place, so that at least the primary health care centers will be able to provide 24-hour service. And like I said, we are also trying to improve the manpower.
Stakeholders maintain that the Impact Project exemplifies how strategic collaboration between government and global partners can yield tangible improvement in public health and community well-being.
This is news update on Trust TV coming up ahead. Just Elders rally for literacy to bridge divides and rebuild trust. This and many more when we return. Do stay with us. Welcome back. In case you just joined in, this is news update on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Troops launch massive raid on bandit camps in Kainji National Park. And inflation batters Makurdi markets as traders buyers struggle to cope. And moving on to more stories, elders across communities in Jos North local government area of Plateau State are stepping up to revive the fading reading culture among youths. Through organized reading sessions, they are encouraging younger generations to embrace books while fostering peace and unity in their communities. Trust TV's Ado Musa has more.
A poor reading culture reflects a society where reading is neither prioritized nor widely practiced, often due to limited access to books, weak educational systems, and a lack of role models. In Nigeria, the problem remains significant, with over 75 million people considered illiterate and only about 31.6% of Nigerians engaging in daily reading. The impact on education and development is profound. To tackle this, a community-driven initiative is mobilizing elders and professionals to inspire children and students through role modeling and shared reading experiences.
If the elders are not reading, then who will inspire these young ones to read books? So we now decided that we're going to be hosting, reading books with the elders of the community. So today we're here for that book reading, because we believe that if elders read books, the communities rise.
The initiative is also designed to serve as a platform for promoting unity and peaceful coexistence across Plateau State diverse community.
So we believe that books can foster peaceful coexistence. Like we're here, we're discussing a book. That is bonding us together. We're learning together. We're going to school, public schools, where we have Christians, we have Muslims, and sometimes even people from other faiths. One team brought us together.
Today, it's a reality. I think a few years ago, nobody would have believed that Ngorogo community, which is dominated by our Islamic brothers, will be hosting reading that is initiated by the Christian brothers. But look at the warm welcome, look at the wonderful presence,
At the sessions, participants acknowledged the importance of such grassroots effort in rekindling interest in reading and rebuilding trust across generations.
For the first time, it has brought not students, not just young people, it has brought elders. And that is the focus, because when you remind elders about the importance of reading, encouraging them to read, and then also inculcating the reading culture among their children.
What we are trying to do now is to domesticate the books in cultures that are not alien to us, that are within the context of our own society, so that we can now be able to begin to inculcate that discipline in the children that are growing up in each of the respective schools' curriculum.
Also at the event, Dr. Jamila Muazu pointed out how the state of the community libraries is affecting reading habits. Poor infrastructure and lack of resources continue to discourage consistent reading, especially among young people.
One of the challenges we're facing is that, we have a lot of books in the market now, but we need elders in the community. We need our professors and our intellectuals to help us get the right books that will change the children's mindset. When books are taken to the library, ideally, we must have content readers, people that will read the content of those books and see if those books are religiously fit, culturally fit. So another challenge about that is the issue of equal access. Now we have the library. Then how do we make sure that everyone get equal access to all the facilities in the library and also get support in learning how to read? So I suggested that we need volunteers from the community.
The Elders Book Reading Initiative features seniors leading reading activities aimed at mentoring and inspiring children to explore books and learn through storytelling and engagement. The effort is gaining traction as both a literacy drive and a peace-building strategy. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And now in business, the federal government says there is no going back on its plan to conduct crude oil and refined product sales in Naira. Finance Minister Wale Edun reaffirmed the policy during a meeting of the Technical Subcommittee on Naira crude sales in Abuja, describing the move as a strategic step to strengthen the local currency and attract investment in domestic refining. Key stakeholders at the meeting included the NNPCL, FIRS, NUPRC, and the Nigerian Port Authority. Officials say progress is ongoing and interagency cooperation has been strong. And away from Nigeria, Russian President Vladimir Putin held high-level talks in Moscow on Saturday with leaders from the Palestinian Authority, Zimbabwe and Burkina Faso as part of events marking the 80th anniversary of the defeat of Nazi Germany. Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, Zimbabwean President Emerson Mnangagwa and Burkina Faso's Captain Ibrahim Traore joined Putin to discuss regional cooperation and global security. During his meeting with Abbas, Putin proposed further collaboration to ease escalating tensions in the Middle East amid growing international concern over the Gaza crisis. The summit came hours after leaders from France, Germany, the UK and Poland issued a unified call for Putin to accept a 30-day ceasefire in Ukraine, an offer reportedly backed by US President Donald Trump following consultations earlier in the day. And in sports, Flying Eagles head coach Aliou Zubairu reckoned Senegal will make things difficult for his side in their quarterfinal fixture at the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. The West African Giants will clash at the Suez Canal Stadium, Ismailia, on Monday. Senegal defeated Nigeria 1-0 in the group stage 2 years ago in Egypt. The Flying Eagles will be eager to avenge that defeat this time around. A win would move them one step closer to an 8th crown and secure a return to the global stage. Coach Zubairu stated that his team must show determination and discipline to achieve victory. And with that, we wrap up news updates on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all social media platforms for more programs, news, and documentaries. My name is Dorcas Yakubuzala. Bye for now.